Hello, all. Good evening. Welcome to Programming Fundamentals course. So, today let's start applying inheritance in reality. Ninnati varaku we have gone through how we can use inheritance, what are the different types of inheritance, and also we explored like why certain types are not supported in Java and Kotlin, and how those types are supported in Python, right? So today let's try to see how we can use inheritance and make our code better in checkout functionality. Okay, so let's get started with the payment functionality in checkout script, right? So till now, we'll just try to do a small revision. So we started with checkout functionality, and then we added items to the cart. We were able to remove items from the cart, and then we also implemented clear functionality. Now we are going to add the fourth functionality, and what is that? It is a payment functionality, right? Once we make the payment, the checkout procedure is completely done. Now, in order to make the payment, how many different types of methods are available? We should be able to support them. And is it same? Like, for example, if I'm making a payment using net banking, and if I'm making a payment using debit card, are those two systems are the same or they are different? They are different, right? And the reason is, so whenever you are doing net banking, it will ask you for username and password or mobile number and OTP kind of thing. But when you actually do it using a debit card or credit card, it will ask you the card details, right? What is the card number? What's the CVV? What's the expiry date? And then it will also ask you for the OTP if needed, right? So then the functionality is completely different. So now, how are we going to integrate these things? Let's try to see it. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so in cart management module, previously we have already seen like how we can write all the Java code, right? Java we have created a product class, అలాగే checkout class లో ఏమేం చేయాలి, cart items, constructor, add item functionality, remove item functionality, ఇవన్నీ we have already implemented, right? Similarly, we have code for Python and Kotlin also. If you are able to do it in one language, you can do the same in any other language also, because the system, the methodology will remain same. It's just matter of syntax. Now let's get started with the payment options. So how do we present payment options to the user and handle their input? What are the different payment methods we should actually consider? We already know, right? We can offer common payment methods like credit card, debit card, and cash. And what else? Any other payment options that we can provide? We can provide UPI, we can provide pay later. All these are different types of payment methods, right? Is there any limit on how many payment methods you can support? Is there any limit on that? There is no limit. You can support any number of payment methods. ఫ్యూచర్లో మనకి ఇంకా వేరే ఏదైనా కొత్త సిస్టమ్ వచ్చిందనుకోండి, we can support that as well. Right now UPI కూడా you can click to pay and you can scan and pay. So there are different ways. Right. Let's start by adding code to our checkout class, and we will display like what are the different options that are available, and then like how user can actually select it and all. Now let's go into the code and we'll start doing this. First, when you see these 4 lines, what does it say? It is printing payment options, and it is printing 3 options. What are those 3? Credit card, debit card, and cash. And then you need to enter your option, right? So first, after selecting all the items, adding everything into it, you have to make a payment option. And then while payment options, you have to select which option you wanted to choose. And then we are trying to read that particular item. And then we are using a switch statement to decide which particular class do we need. So we'll go into it like step by step. Shall we start with this? Now, here if you see, there is a method called checkout. Can we create a method with the same name, just like class? Is it possible? ఇక్కడ class name ఏంటి? It is checkout, right? So can we use the same name for a method? Okay, Tanvi says no. Any other? Can we use same name for a method? We are already using same name for constructor. But what about methods? Can we create a method with same name? Simple, let's try it. Public void checkout. Do we have any problem? Is it showing any error? There is no error. So is it possible? So always whenever there is a question, just try it out whether it is possible or not. Right? Because now you can see there are three different things. This is class. This is constructor, which doesn't have any return type. This is a method which has a return type. Right? So we can use a same method name also. Now let's try to write it. So whenever you call this method, what should happen? We have to display the payment options, right? So let me just copy these 4 lines. We do like step by step. Done. Next, who should call this method now? ఈ చెక్అవుట్ అనే మెథడ్ ని ఎవరు కాల్ చేయాలి? So let's go to main method lo, like first let's try to run this application. Let's see where we have to add and why we have to add it, because if we don't have clarity on where we have to add some logic or anything, we will not be able to write the code, right? So now if you see, this is the output that I am getting. Choose an action, add item, remove item, clear cart, and 0 for exit. Is there any payment option that we have here? ఇక్కడ పేమెంట్ ఆప్షన్ లేకపోతే can I make the checkout? Is it possible to make the payment and go to the next level? It is not possible. So what should we do? We have to add a new option. What is that option? You can call it as checkout, or you can call it as make payment or something. So where should I add it? ఇక్కడ already 1, 2, 3 and 0 ఉన్నాయి. So which number should I give for checkout? Let's give 4. Now we have these many classes, right? ఈ క్లాసెస్లో ఏ క్లాస్లో నేను ఆప్షన్ యాడ్ చేయాలి? 4th one, which is checkout option. It is just a display thing, right? First display చేద్దాము, and then we'll handle the logic, and then we'll call the methods. We'll do step by step. ఏ క్లాస్లో చేయాలి? చెక్అవుట్లో చేయాలా, ప్రోడక్ట్లో చేయాలా, మెయిన్లో చేయాలా? It should be in main, because we are displaying all the options in main, right? So let's see here. We have opened main class. Main lo ekkada display chestunam chudandi. Yes, display menu. Can I add it here? And then I have to add the 4th option, which is checkout. Done. Now if I run this, will I be able to see 4th option? Yes, I am able to see 4th option. If I enter 4, will it work? 4 enter chesanu, it is saying invalid choice. It did not add, because మనం ఇప్పటి వరకు 4 ఎంటర్ చేస్తే ఏం జరగాలి అనేది we haven't discussed it, right? So we need to think how to handle that option. We have to focus on one thing at a time. First thing enti, we added this checkout option. Then now when you click on this 4, it should call a method in checkout. So let's go and see where to add that logic. So who is calling this display menu? Let's go and see. Main method lo we are calling display menu, right? And then we are reading choice, and then we are handling choice. So in which method should I write my logic of handling 4? 4 enter చేసినప్పుడు I have to do some functionality with checkout. అది ఎక్కడ రాయాలి? Which method? Is it in display menu or is it in handle choice? If it is display menu, type D. If it is handle choice, type H. It should be in handle choice. So just go inside handle choice. Now you can see the code here, right? Already మనము ఒక switch case రాసాము. Switch case 1 అయితే we are calling one method. అదే case 2 అయితే we are calling another method. Case 3 we are calling another one. Now what should we do? we have to add another case, which is case 4, right? And what should we do here? Case 4 లో ఏం చేయాలి? I have to just call a method which is called checkout. Checkout అని నేను ఇక్కడ ఒకటి క్రియేట్ చేశాను, రైట్? ఈ మెథడ్ని కాల్ చేయాలి. Can I call this method directly? It is not in the same class, it is in checkout class, right? So what should we do? We have to use the checkout object. వేరే క్లాస్లో ఉన్న మెథడ్ని యాక్సెస్ చేయాలంటే you have to use an object of it. Do we have checkout object? Yes, we do have it. So simply use checkout dot checkout. Done. Now if I execute this, what should happen? Checkout option enter చేసినప్పుడు, select చేసినప్పుడు, I should be able to see the payment options. Let's see if it works or not. Okay, now I can see add item, remove item, clear cart and checkout. I'm entering 4. Is it showing the payment options? Credit card, debit card and cash. Did it work? So till display it is working. Now after display, what should we do? After display akkadto complete అయిపోయిందా? It is not done, right? Still there are more steps to do inside that. So now we'll try to go into checkout method and we'll see what we have to do. Checkout method lo first ఏం చేయాలి చెప్పండి? Display payment options, right? And then after displaying, what should we do? Get the choice from the user, right? User has to enter a particular choice, otherwise we will not get to know that, right? So how to get that choice? We have to use, if it is Java, we have to use a scanner, right? So scanner use chesi, we have to get a choice, and after getting choice, what should we do? Handle payments based on choice, right? Now let's try to do these steps. Ikkada kuda, should we write everything in one method or should we create separate methods for each action? One method or multiple methods? It is better to create multiple methods, right? So can I move this into a separate method, and can I say it as display payment options, public void display payment options, and then I'll just move this. Now whenever I call that method, what will happen? I will be able to print these values. Done. Next, what is the next step? I need the choice, right? Whatever the user enters. So what should we do? We have to take a value which is a choice. Choice anedi manaki it is a string format lo తీసుకుంటున్నాం కాబట్టి let's say string choice is equal to get entered choice. I'm just creating another method. Okay, now we have to create this method also, right? So let me create a new method, public, and what is the return type? It is expecting a string, so we have to return a string. String get entered choice. Now how to read something from the user? We have to use a scanner object, right? So I'm going to create a scanner object for that. New scanner, and we need to pass something called system.in, and then you can simply say scanner dot next line. Done. This will give you the string, and once you get the string, what should we do? We have to handle the choice, right? So create handle choice, and we need to pass the choice also. Choice. Done. Again, create another method. If you see, for every action we are trying to create a new method and write functionality related to that. Handle choice, and it needs an input, right? So we are going to take choice. Done. Now, do I need these comments? అక్కడ ఉన్న మెథడ్ అండ్ అక్కడ ఉన్న కమెంట్, దే బోత్ ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ద సేమ్ థింగ్, రైట్? సో ఇట్ ఈస్ redundant. Let me delete the comments also, so that మన code, it will look much simpler and easier to understand. Now let's go into handle choice. ఇప్పటి వరకు we have done something. Handle choice లో what should we do? First, let's try to just display that user selected this particular choice, and then we can see how to handle the functionality, right? So in handle choice, what should we do? 1 aithe it's credit card, 2 aithe it is debit card, 3 it's cash, right? So I'm going to take a switch statement, and then I'm going to pass choice. Now first case enti, it is 1, which means I wanted to display that it is credit card, right? So I'm just displaying a print statement. Credit card payment, okay, and then break. Similarly, I want to do for the other 3 things also. Two is for debit card, 3 is for cash. In case if user enters anything invalid, then we have something called default. Default ante ee 3 values kaakunda veredi edi vachina kuda it will be a default one only. If it is default, we can simply say it is invalid choice. Is that okay? Now shall we try to run this and see whether it is working fine till this point or not? Let's run this. Yeah, so now first I can see the options. Let me select 4. Yes, I got payment options. Now I need to select a payment option. Which one should we select? 1, 2 or 3? Let's select 1. We should get credit card payment. Yes, we got credit card payment. So till here it is working fine, right? ఇప్పుడు till now we haven't discussed anything about the payment ఎలా హ్యాండిల్ చేయాలి, how to do those functionalities and all, right? Now we are going to discuss that. For example, credit card payment ఉంది అనుకోండి, can I simply create one method here, public void handle credit card payment? Will this work? In this method, I will ask for card number, I'll ask for CVV, I'll ask for expiry date, and I'll also ask for the OTP, and then the payment will be completed. It will work, right? But what is the problem? Why should we use inheritance? Inheritance use cheyadaniki avasaram enti ikkada? So we are going to understand those things, and we are going to use those things now. First thing, is it okay if we write everything in one class? Tell me guys. Checkout lone nenu credit card, debit card, net banking, UPI, cash payment, everything if I write, is that okay? No. What is the reason? The file becomes very big, right? And after that there are certain risks also. For example, you have a team of 4 people. Can each and every person work on one payment directly? ఒకరు క్యాష్ మీద, ఒకరు క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ మీద, ఒకరు నెట్ బ్యాంకింగ్ మీద అలా వర్క్ చేయొచ్చా? ఇస్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్ ఇఫ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ వన్ ఫైల్? It is not possible, right? And in case if you are making some change in net banking, it can affect other payment gateways also. If you are making some change in cash, it can affect other payments also. Alanti problems raakunda undalante, what should we do? We have to move these things to separate classes and methods, right? If you move this into separate classes, appudu net banking anta oka separate file lo untundi. Whoever is working on net banking, they will be taking care of only net banking, right? So that is how we wanted to work on it. Now let's try to see how to do that. So here you can see same code ikkada edaithe undo scanner toti techukodamu, aa tarvata switch statement, everything we have written it in 3 different methods. That's it, right? Now, let us try to see how we can use inheritance over here. Let's go to the next step. Okay, now our checkout process can handle different payment choices, right? But how can we actually process the payments? Should we have separate code for each payment type within the checkout method? We just discussed. It is not a good practice. We have to have in a separate file. So that's a great question. While we could write separate code for each payment type within the checkout method, a more elegant and organized approach would be to use inheritance. And inheritance allows us to create base class for common payment functionalities and then create specialized classes for each payment type. These specialized classes will inherit the common features from base class and add their own specific details. Right? Yesterday also we discussed. Inheritance అంటే ఏంటి పేరెంట్ దగ్గర కామన్ ఫంక్షనాలిటీస్ ఉంటాయి అండ్ దెన్ చైల్డ్ విల్ హ్యావ్ పేరెంట్ ప్లస్ సమ్ ఎక్స్ట్రా ఫంక్షనాలిటీస్ రైట్ సో నౌ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ రిలేటెడ్ టు క్రియేటింగ్ అన్ ఇన్వాయిస్ క్రియేటింగ్ ఇన్వాయిస్ అన్నది పేరెంట్ దగ్గర ఉండాలా ఆర్ నెట్ బ్యాంకింగ్ దగ్గర సపరేట్గా క్యాష్ దగ్గర సపరేట్గా అలా ఉండాలా whenever you make a payment, you need to create an invoice, right? Where should this invoice logic be there? Should it be in parent or should it be separate for each and every payment type? It should be in parent because it is common, right? Now, let's implement this using inheritance in Java, Python, and Kotlin. Let's try to see first. So first, what are we doing? We are trying to create one class, which is called payment. And under we have a method called process payment. And what is the input? It is float, which is a payment amount. So whoever want to make a payment, they have to just make use of this particular method. ఈ method ni call cheste, it will make start the payment processing. So shall we try create this method? So first thing, what are we doing? We don't need this method, right? Handle credit card payment and then separate గా మనకు అవసరం లేదు. We are creating a separate class for it. So let's go to the package. We will create a new class. What is the class name? Payment. Right? And now inside the payment, what should we do? We are writing one method. What is that? Public void process payment. And then we have to pass the amount also, right? Float amount. Done. We have created the parent class. Is it done? We can say that system processing payment and we are displaying it here. Okay. Let's say we'll also display the amount. Done. Now, how should we create a child classes? Let's go and see. Java, what is the keyword that we use for child classes? What is the keyword that we use to establish relation between parent and child in Java? It is extends. So let's create another class now. Public class credit card payment. Done. And then I'm going to create a method which is, should we use same method name or should we use different method name? So here we have a concept of overriding. అంటే పేరెంట్ దగ్గర ఉన్న సేమ్ మెథడే మనం చైల్డ్లో కూడా వాడుకోవచ్చు. Public void process payment. And what is the parameter? It's the amount, right? Now, we have an error. What is the error? You have a same method name in parent and child. So whenever you have same parent name in parent and child, in Java, you have to use an annotation called @override. Ante, don't use this particular method. Use only this method. We are trying to just force that. Okay. Yes. Okay, since we haven't connected the parent yet, extends payment. Done. Now you can see, right? Here I can write my own logic. Processing with credit card. Okay. Now, if I want to create another class, which is for debit card, what should we do? Yes, Geeta, we will discuss that. So why should we have same method name in parent and child? We are going to use parent and child together also. Override chesina kuda, how can we call the parent method? We will see that today. So let's see. Now we have created credit card payment. What's the next thing? We need a debit card payment also, right? And should we keep these two classes in the same file or different files? We have to keep them in different files, right? Simply you can, if you are using a powerful editor, you can simply just extract them directly. Move class to a separate file. Done. It is moved to a different file now. Now, similarly, go to payment, create another class. What is that? This for the next one is for debit card, right? Debit card payment. And then this also you can move it into a separate file. We are trying to create more number of files now. Is it good? The other one is cash payment, right? Is it good to have more number of payments classes? Done. I have created. Now we have overall one payment class, one credit card class, one debit card class, and the last one, which is cash payment class. Let's go to checkout and then we'll try to see how to use those classes now. Now, ikkada naku, here what should we do? If it is one, what should we do? We have to create an object of credit card payment, right? And then create an object and we can call that method. Call credit card payment dot process payment, and let me pass some value for now. Let's say like 100.0f. Okay. I can remove this now. Next, alage I want to use for debit card. What should we do? I can simply create an object of debit card. Done. Debit card ki kuda chesesanu. Similarly, if I want to do for cash, use cash, right? Cash payment. So now, is it done? I'm using 3 different classes now, right? సో క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్ చేసేటప్పుడు క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ క్లాస్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను, బట్ దీంట్లో ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎక్కడైనా యూజ్ అయిందా మనకి? జస్ట్ చెక్ ఇట్. ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ లేకపోయినా ఐ కెన్ జస్ట్ కాల్ సపరేట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మెథడ్, రైట్? క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ క్లాస్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాను, అందులో ఉన్న మెథడ్ని కాల్ చేస్తాను. వాట్స్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ విత్ దట్? వై షుడ్ వి యూజ్ ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్? This is where we get to understand the concept in detail. So first one, inheritance ante we are creating an object of a parent, not for child. Because checkout lo, are you concerned whether it is about credit card payment? Are you concerned about payment? Payment important, credit card, debit card, cash annadi important. Payment is important. So you need an object of payment actually. Payment, create just an object of payment, and now for this you can create the instance using any child. For example, you want to create for credit card, let's say new credit card payment. This is possible. Can you see here? Left side emo parent pair undi, on the right side what we have? Child name undi. Alage if I want to use for debit card, can I use this for debit card also? I can use it, right? So now If I use payment, can I call the process payment method? Let's say. Yes, I can call, right? Now, can I use this payment option and just do this one line in a different ways? So ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఇప్పుడు I'm going to split these two lines into two different parts. ఒకటేమో before going for switch case, ఇంకొకటి after switch case. Now in payment, which one should be there? Credit card ఎప్పుడు ఉండాలి, డెబిట్ కార్డ్ ఎప్పుడు ఉండాలి, అండ్ క్యాష్ పేమెంట్ ఎప్పుడు ఉండాలి? Let's say this is null. We don't have any object in this. What should we do? If it is case 1, what should we store? If it is case 1, payment lo edi assign cheyali? Credit card payment. I'm not calling the payment method also. See, just check it here. If I use debit card, then I'm going to just instantiate it with debit card object. If it is 3, we have to use cash, right? Cash payment, done. If it is default, then I'll say return. I don't even want to go to the next line because there is no value, right? So now if you see, మనం పేరెంట్ కి ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసాము, బట్ వీఆర్ సెలెక్టింగ్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద యూజర్ చాయిస్. యూజర్ చాయిస్ 1 అయితే వీఆర్ టేకింగ్ క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్ ఆప్షన్. ఇఫ్ యూజర్ చాయిస్ ఇస్ 2, వీఆర్ టేకింగ్ డెబిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్ ఆప్షన్. అండ్ హౌ మెనీ టైమ్స్ ఆర్ వి కాలింగ్ ద ప్రాసెస్ పేమెంట్ మెథడ్? ప్రాసెస్ పేమెంట్ మెథడ్ అనేది మనం ఒక్కసారి మాత్రమే కాల్ చేస్తున్నాం, రైట్? And once you call this, automatically ఇది ఆ particular class లోకి వెళ్తుంది. Let's say user entered 1. What will happen? Payment option లోకి credit card payment వస్తుంది. And then now this payment is nothing but credit card payment object. And you are calling this payment process payment. What will happen? Will it go to payment class or will it go to credit card payment class? User entered 1. Payment లోనేమో credit card payment ఉంది. And then we are calling payment.process payment. Where will it go now? Will it go to payment class or credit card payment class? Anyone? When line number 46 is executed, will it go to payment class method or credit card payment class method? It actually goes to credit card payment class because ఇది దాని చైల్డ్ అని మనం అసైన్ చేసాము. సో వెన్ యూ యాక్చువల్లీ డూ దిస్, ఆబ్జెక్ట్ పేమెంట్ ఇది అయ్యుండొచ్చు, బట్ మెమరీ దేనికి అసైన్ అవుతుంది? మెమరీ ఈజ్ ఆల్వేస్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద రైట్ సైడ్, విచ్ ఈస్ ద కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్కి అవుతుంది కాబట్టి క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్ యొక్క ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కాల్ అవుతుంది, అందులో ఉన్న మెథడ్సే కాల్ అవుతాయి. సో నౌ వెన్ యూ కాల్ దిస్ లైన్, ఇట్ విల్ గో టు క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్ అండ్ ఇట్ విల్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ దిస్ లైన్. Shall we try to see if this works or not? Let's try to run this. Yeah. Now let's enter 4. We got payment options. Let me enter 1. ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఏది రావాలి అవుట్పుట్? క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్ లోన ప్రాసెసింగ్ మెథడ్ రావాలి. Did we get it? Processing with credit card. Now let's try for the other one. Again I am entering checkout. I'm entering 2. What am I getting? Processing with debit card, right? If I enter 3 again, cash, processing with cash, right? So this is how it actually works. So మీరు క్రియేట్ చేసిన ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఏమో పేరెంట్ ఇది, బట్ యు ఆర్ యాక్చువల్లీ యూజింగ్ చైల్డ్ మెమరీ, రైట్? చైల్డ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ని వాడుతున్నారు. Now let's try to see. Go into the credit card payment. And also we'll open this payment. Now, when exactly this line will get executed? Payment lo we have a method processing payment of rupees amount. నాకు ఇది కూడా డిస్ప్లే అవ్వాలి. So whenever I call credit card payment, I want to display that message first and then I wanted to display this. What should we do? You can see here, right? క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్లో నాకు ఫస్ట్ ఇది డిస్ప్లే అవ్వాలి, అంటే ఈ మెథడ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలి, ఆ తర్వాత ఈ మెథడ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలి. బట్ ఓవర్ రైడ్ అవుతుంది అంటే ఏంటి, పైన మెథడ్ని ఇగ్నోర్ చేసేస్తుంది, రైట్? బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ పేరెంట్ మెథడ్ ఆల్సో, యూ క్యాన్ do it by using one thing, which is just call that method process payment and pass whatever the input that is required. But ila call chesinapudu em avutundi, it is going to this fourth line. If you want to call this method from parent, you have to just use a keyword which is called super dot annar anukondi. What will happen? It will call the same method but in the parent, not in the child. What will happen? When this line gets executed, it will go to payment class, it will print this line, and then it will come back, and then it will continue with the next lines. Geeta, indaka meer adgina question ki did you get the answer? So when you wanted to execute parent method code also, we can simply call super dot process payment. This will call the parent method. Shall we try to run this and see again? Ippudu credit card select cheste, it should print processing payment of rupees something, and then it should say processing with credit card. Other debit card with cash ki aitante, it should not happen that way. Let's see. Now let's select fourth option, checkout. Let me select first option. You can see here, right? Processing payment 100 rupees, and then processing with credit card. If I do the same thing with debit card, will it work? Let's see. Debit card lo, is it showing the parent method? It is not showing. So credit card lo evaraithe changes chestunnaro, they will just get those output. అదే డెబిట్ కార్డ్లో ఎవరు చేంజెస్ చేస్తున్నారో దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకొని మనకు అవుట్పుట్ వస్తుంది. లెట్స్ అజ్యూమ్ ఇందాక మనం అనుకున్నాము, వాట్ ఇఫ్ సమ్మన్ బ్రేక్స్ ద కోడ్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు డెబిట్ కార్డ్లో లెట్స్ we have a debit card payment class, right? Debit card payment class lo they have done some mistake. They have kept this in while loop anukundam. Okay, this is an infinite loop, so continuously వెళ్తూనే ఉంటుంది. Will this affect credit card payment or not? We will see. ఇప్పుడు because there are different people who are working on different payments, right? క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ కోడ్ మీద ఒకరు వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు, డెబిట్ కార్డ్ మీద ఇంకొకరు వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు. Will this have any impact or not? We will see now. I'm running. Yes. Let's call 4 checkout. Now first let's test for credit card work avutunda leda. Credit card is working fine. Parent di call ayindi, credit card di call ayindi. Now if I wanted to try for debit card, what will happen? You can see there is an infinite loop. It is continuously going on, right? Idi break ayindi, but idi break avadam valla manaki credit card మీద ఏమైనా impact ఉందా? Do we have any problem with the credit card functionality? We don't have any issues, right? Because they both are completely in different files, different classes. ఒకదానికి ఒకదానికి డైరెక్ట్ రిలేషన్ లేదు. So this way, if you use inheritance, our code will become more organized and structured. Now if you see on the left side, we have got multiple files, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 files we have now. Is it good? 7 files okay దగ్గర ఉంటే it is little clumsy, right? Can we create packages for this so that మన ఫోల్డర్స్ ఎలాగైతే స్ట్రక్చర్ చేసుకుంటాము మన ల్యాప్టాప్లో, we can do the same thing in here as well. So let's try to create a new package. Let's say payments కి సంబంధించినవి మాత్రమే we'll put it in this particular payments. We'll select those things. These are the 4 classes, right? So just go into payments. Done. Sorry. Let me just drag them. Do it. Yes. Now if you see the code, we have one folder which is called payments. Folder ni manam Java lo emantamu, Java or Python or Kotlin, anything, we call it as package. సో ప్యాకేజ్లో పేమెంట్స్ అనే ప్యాకేజ్లో క్యాష్ పేమెంట్ ఉంది, క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్ ఉంది, డెబిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్ ఉంది, పేమెంట్ ఉంది. సో వెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ ఇష్యూ విత్ పేమెంట్స్, వేర్ షుడ్ యూ కమ్? మెయిన్ క్లాస్, ప్రోడక్ట్, చెక్అవుట్ వీటిలోకి రావాలా, పేమెంట్స్లోకి రావాలా? We have to come to payments directly, right? Now let me just close this. Let's open checkout. Checkout lo inka can we make any further cleaning? Let's try to see. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ డిస్ప్లే పేమెంట్ ఆప్షన్స్ అన్నారు. Is it part of payments or is it part of checkout? Display payment options అన్నది, can we move it into payments functionality? పేమెంట్ క్లాస్లోకి మూవ్ చేసేయచ్చా దీన్ని? We can, right? So simply just open the payment class. మన పేరెంట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో పేరెంట్లోకి I'm just moving it. Remove it from here, put it in payments. And how to call this? If you want to call this, you need a payment class, right? And then you just call this method, payment.display payment options. And then even this entered choice, ఇది కూడా ఎక్కడ ఉండాలి మనకి ఇప్పుడు? We are trying to get the payment related information, right? Payment కి సంబంధించిన choice. Who should do this? Even these things can be actually moved into payment method. So you can move this, get entered. Handle choice kuda, is it related to payment or is it related to checkout? So these two methods are also related to payment, right? So I will simply just remove it from here. And then where should I keep it? I'll put it in the payment class so that I can directly access using these things. Payment dot get entered choice. Alage payment dot handle choice. Now if you see payment related ఏ information కావాలి అన్న, display menu change చేయాలి అన్న, where should I do that? Inside this payments package only. Main లో కానీ చెక్అవుట్ లో కానీ ప్రోడక్ట్ దగ్గర కానీ we don't need to make any other changes, right? So is it following a better practice na? చెక్అవుట్ కి సంబంధించిన కోడ్ అంతా ఒక దగ్గర ఉంది, అండ్ చెక్అవుట్ లో ఏంటి, జస్ట్ పేమెంట్ కావాలి. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ జస్ట్ హ్యాండ్లింగ్ పేమెంట్, దట్స్ ఇట్. ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ వరీడ్ అబౌట్ ఎనీథింగ్ ఎల్స్. అది క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంటా, డెబిట్ కార్డ్ పేమెంట్ అన్నది కూడా చెక్అవుట్ లో మనకి ఎక్కడా లేదు. చూడండి ఇప్పుడు I'm just removing the unused imports. Now if you see మనకి చెక్అవుట్ లో do we have anything related to credit card or debit card or cash or anything? చెక్అవుట్ లో మనకు తెలిసింది ఏంటి, ఓన్లీ పేమెంట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మాత్రమే, నథింగ్ ఎల్స్. వీఆర్ జస్ట్ థింకింగ్ అబౌట్ పేమెంట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. పేమెంట్ అయిందా లేదా, పేమెంట్ చేస్తున్నారా లేదా, దట్స్ ఇట్. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఎల్స్ ఈస్ హ్యాండిల్డ్ ఇన్సైడ్ ద పేమెంట్స్ ప్యాకేజ్ నౌ. If you want to make any changes, go to payment class and then you can make the necessary changes here, right? Is it clear, guys, everyone? So this way we can actually implement payments in a much simpler and easier way. Now shall we try to add UPI payments to this? Shall we try that? UPI payments వచ్చేసరికి there is a next level hierarchy that will come into picture. We can see how that will actually help us. So let's try to run this and we will see. First we'll try to understand that. In case if you are thinking about UPI, what should happen? Is there any change in this particular menu? Any change in this menu, the initial menu, add item, remove item, clear card and checkout? There is no change in this menu, right? You have to go to checkout, then only you can see the payment options. Is there any change in this particular menu? Do we need to make any changes in this menu? We have to make the change here because ఇప్పటివరకు ఏంటి 3 types ఏ ఉన్నాయి. Now we wanted to support another type. So where should we change this? You guys tell me which class I need to modify this. ఎక్కడ చేంజ్ చేయాలి చెప్పండి. payment options, so I wanted to display UPI. Which one should, where should I modify that? Is it in main class? We have to go to payments package. Payments package lo ఏ దాంట్లో చేయాలి? Do we need to do it in cash payment, credit card payment, debit card payment, or payment? సో ఇక్కడ కూడా మీరు నేమ్ చూస్తేనే క్లియర్గా తెలుస్తుంది చూడండి. క్యాష్ పేమెంట్ అంటే ఇట్ హ్యాస్ నథింగ్ టు డూ విత్ యూపీఐ, రైట్? Similarly with credit card also you have nothing to do with UPI. Debit card, nothing. Payment is something where you can actually add this. So go to payment class. What should we do? First step, add UPI option. System.out.println and then give fourth option, which is UPI. Right? Now, how to handle this UPI? Where should we write that code? It is in handle choice. So we have to add a next case, which is case 4. Payment is equal to new. We haven't created a new payment, right? We have to create it now. New UPI payment and then break. So we have to go to the payments. We have to create a new payment class. UPI payment. What should we do here? You have to extend it with payment. Extends payment class, right? And then you need to override the process payment. If you don't override, what will happen? Payment lo edaithe undo ade method execute avutundi. So the payment is not completed. So let me override that. And then I can write my own logic here. User selected UPI payment, right? Shall we try to run and see if this is working? Yes, you can see. Let me enter 4. You got 4th UPI option. Let me enter 4 again. You got user selected UPI payment. Ikkada varaku ochindi. But UPI lo we have further options again, right? UPI lo you have to select whether it is Google Pay, Phone Pay, or like a QR scan. We have different types. So how are we going to do that? Where should we write functionality for that? ఈ అన్ని క్లాసెస్ లో ఎక్కడ రాయాలి నేను ఆ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ? I need to display 3 options: Google Pay, Phone Pay, QR scan. Where should we write that logic? Is it in payment, cash payment, credit payment, debit, or UPI? It should be inside UPI. So now, instead of this, I can simply write my logic, right? Select UPI option. First one, what is the first option? Let's say Google Pay. Second option, Phone Pay. Third option, scan QR. Everything has its own mechanism, right? And after this, what should we do? Get entered choice. And after that, process payment, right? So again, ikkada kuda manaki multiple steps unnai. Can we create separate methods for that? So instead of writing it here, what will I do? Create a method, display UPI options. And if you are using something like this, you can just create new options easily, new methods. You will get suggestions, just enter that, it will create a new method automatically. Yes, this is done. Next, we need to get the choice. Choice తెచ్చుకోవాలంటే ఏంటి? String choice is equal to get entered choice. We are creating a new method, right? And ఇది ఆల్రెడీ మనకి పైన పేమెంట్ లో ఉంది. Can we use the same method? పేమెంట్ లో మనం ఆల్రెడీ get entered choice అని పెట్టాము, right? What is it doing? It is just scanning and it is just returning one option. Can we use this method now? We can use it, right? So I'm just using that method. And then what is the third one? I need to process individually. So I'll write a method which is handle UPI choice, and I need to pass this choice. Create a method for this. Done. Now, ikkada I will do the switch statement and everything. Now, if I want to write something related to Google Pay, where should I write it? Should I write it in UPI payment, or should we create a new class? If I want to write some code related to Google Pay, where should I write it? That's a question mark. ఇప్పటి వరకు ఏంటి, క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్, డెబిట్ కార్డ్, క్యాష్ వరకు we were directly doing it in there. But in UPI, it is not a single item, right? UPI another, it has multiple types. So again, you are going to create multiple classes for that. How to do that? Create new Java class. Let's say Google Pay payment. Who is the parent for this particular class now? Who is the parent for this class? Payment, UPI payment. It is UPI payment. And when you have this kind of hierarchy, what do we call this kind of inheritance? I'm just writing Google Pay is processing the payment. Now, if I want similar thing for PhonePe, what should we do? Just create another class, PhonePe. Done. I want another one for scan, right? Let's say QR scan. I've done the same thing. Let me just change the print statements. If it is QR scan, it should just display is processing the payment. We have created these methods. Now, let's go into UPI payment. మనం ఇక్కడ middle లో ఉన్నాము, handle UPI choice. What should we do here? We have to take the option ఏ class use చేయాలి payment కోసం. So first we'll use the parent class. Parent class ఏంటి? UPI payment. Let's create the object name as UPI payment equal to, we are not creating it here. We are using a switch statement. Use choice. If it is case 1, what should we use? UPI payment is equal to, if it is case 1, we have to create it with Google Pay payment, right? But I'm getting a problem. Let me just see what is the issue. Okay, I have missed the keyword new. Right. Next, break. Do the same thing for other 2 types also. Second అయితే ఏది చేయాలి? Have to do with PhonePe payment. If it is third, have to do with QR scan. Right. And if it is default, I have to just return. I don't need to do anything. I can just print something and then I can return. Invalid, let me say UPI option selected. Option done. Instead of break, I'll just say return. Done. Switch is done. Now I have a UPI payment object. Using this, can I call the payment method? Process payment. And what is the value that we are trying to pass? We are trying to pass 100F, right? Now, if you see, what are we trying to do? First, checkout main నుంచి checkout కి వస్తున్నాను. Checkout నుంచి payment కి వెళ్తున్నాను. Payment నుంచి UPI. And from UPI, we are going to Google Pay, PhonePe, or QR scan. So we are going into different levels now. Let's try to run this and see. First, let's go to checkout. Yes, We got 4 options. Let's go to UPI. UPI we have 3 options. What should we select now? Either test them first. Google Pay, Phone Pay, or Scan QR. Let's say 3. Scan is processing the payment. Right? So now, if you want to make any changes in Phone Pay, where exactly should we make the changes? మన దగ్గర ఇన్ని files ఉన్నాయి. Where should we make the changes? If you want any changes in Phone Pay payment processing, where should we make the change? Which file? When you have more number of files, it creates more confusion, right? But you have to follow a better naming so that it will be easy. Cash payment. Do we need to make change here? Phone Pay lo edana change kavalante, do we need to do it here? No. Credit card? No. Debit card? No. Google Pay? No. Payment? No. Phone Pay? Yes. This is where we have to make the payment, right? And then if you see here again, we have got too many files. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 files in there. Okay, there are 8 files in there. Can we reduce it even further? If you see in these files, UPI related separate ga unnai, right? So I'll just create a new folder inside payments, which means new package, UPI. And then what all should I put it there? UPI, Phone Pay, QR scan, and Google Pay. I can move these into UPI. Done. If we go to move it. Now if you see payment, it has UPI and it has cash, credit, debit, and payment. Alage top level we have checkout, mail, and products. Does it look very similar to our normal folder structure? Folder lo folder ala use chestam, right? Is it similar to that? And then can we easily identify where exactly we need to make some change now? Now I'll tell you some use cases. You guys tell me in which class I need to make it. Idi run chesetappudu, let me run this. Yes, I want to change this card, like instead of small c, I wanted to make it capital C. Which file should I make the change? First కనిపించే మెనూలో instead of clear card, I wanted to use capital C. Where should I make the change? Which file? Can anyone tell me? The initial menu edaithe undo andulo instead of clear like a small c in clear cut, we wanted to do it in capital C. So it is here, right? Now let's go and see few more things. Fourth one, instead of capital UPI, I wanted to use small UPI. Where should I make the change? Or let's say we have a problem here, payments dot payment options అని ఉంది. ఈ ప్రాబ్లం ఫిక్స్ చేయాలి. So where should I make the change? You guys tell me. Payments dot payments option అని చూపిస్తుంది. Where should we make the change? Go to payments. Then should we go inside UPI? Is it inside UPI? No. Is it related to cash payment? No. Come till payment. Payment we will be having that option. See here, right? Can I delete this? Done. Now try to run this again. Yes. Now let's see if it is working. Yes, it works. Now let's say if I want to change this UPI, instead of capitals, I wanted to use it small. Where should I change? It's almost the same class wherever we have made the changes, right? Next. Now I wanted to instead in Google Pay, I wanted to remove this space. What should we do? Where should we change it? Instead of Google Pay with space, we have to remove it with remove the space. Where should we remove it? Payments UPI, Google Pay. So first go to payments, UPI, and in UPI, which class? Payment options are displayed in UPI payment, right? It is not in Google Pay. It is just option selection మాత్రమే. So అలాంటప్పుడు we are using this. ఇక్కడ display options అని ఉంది కాబట్టి we'll just go here and then we can make the change here, right? Now let's say I selected 1. It is saying Google Pay is processing the payment. I wanted the parent method also. Parent లో ఏదైతే కాల్ చేస్తున్నామో అది కూడా ప్రింట్ అవ్వాలి. So what should I do? In which file do I need to make the change? Google Pay is processing the payment mundu. I want to say show payment processing of rupees something 100. I want to display that also. Where should I make the change? And what is the change? Let us go and see the files. It is in Google Pay payment, yes. And where, in which line should we make the change? After line number 6. You wanted to call the parent method, right? So simply call super dot process payment and then pass the amount. It will go to the parent method. And in parent method, do we have any display that we are trying to do here? It is not doing. So what should we do? Even here also you have to call the payment method, which is super dot process payment amount. If you go to this parent, here you are displaying this process payment. Clear, guys? Everyone? Yes. So now let's try to see that. 4. Let me take 4 and I'll see UPI. Is it working? Processing payment of 100 rupees. Yes. So this is how we can actually create more number of files but less number of responsibilities. ఒక్కొక్క క్లాస్ కి ఒక్కొక్క ఫైల్ కి the responsibilities are very very less, right? So this way we can actually make our functionality easier. And ఎక్కడైనా ఏదైనా బగ్ ఉందనుకోండి, like if you have any issue, you can easily identify where exactly you need to make the change. If you write everything in one file, it becomes very difficult to manage. If you have more number of files, but make sure every file has less responsibilities. ఈ వేలో మనం ఫాలో అయితే ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ will help you a lot in reusing the code again and again. You can create an object of parent, but on the right side you can use a child memory. Child యొక్క object ని create చేసుకోవచ్చు. Clear, guys? Any questions, anyone? So we also have the code in Python and Kotlin as well. So today we have seen like how we are going to use inheritance in different aspects, right? Like tomorrow we'll just try to see how we can do the same thing in Python and Kotlin, and then we'll continue with a new object-oriented programming concept. Okay. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, we can discuss during the Q&A session. Thank you once again.